So this post was from a Fans First Friday, I believe, for Transformers and Power Rangers back in April, I want to say 20th or 21st of 2022. They were talking about Siege Soundwave because they were releasing Siege Soundwave under the Legacy banner. Now, there were a few rumors and speculations about what was to be released, and we'll start here because it was announced, and I'm looking for any other news on that they wanted to make a new Soundwave because they stated they did not have the rights to the Netflix mold, but also they wanted to make a new Soundwave because it would match Blaster. Because if you know, Blaster is 6.3 or 4 inches, which is only like 0.1 or 2 smaller than Earthrise Optimus Prime, which is 6.5 inches. Remember what I told y'all about Optimus Prime for the past like 16 years? It's been 6.5 inches except for Combiner Wars, but that's because that Combiner Wars Optimus Prime was really Motormaster. Yeah, Motormaster. That was Motormaster's mold. I don't care what nobody says. It wasn't really intended for Optimus Prime. It is what it is. But cash grab, they did the same thing when they did with a Titan's Return, Titan's Return, Octane, and Titan's Return, Blitzwing. They released the Optimus Prime version of the mold and the Megatron version of the mold before they released the actual characters that would carry the mold. That's what happened with Combiner Wars. Yeah, that was Motormaster. That whole mold was Motormaster. So before we go bleeding into this slide here, this is Siege Soundwave, the first Soundwave that we got that kind of had a tape deck that wasn't a spaceship or some type of weird Cybertronic SUV. We got this back in 2019. This is the base mold for every other Soundwave that has been released so far. So that lets you know that regardless of what you say about this, Netflix Soundwave, Legacy United Soundwave is pretty much a 5-year-old mold because it borrows heavily. Its roots is from Legacy, but we're going to get into all that, and we're going to talk about some other speculations at the end of the video and things like that, because there are more rumors about this. We need to look at all the Soundwaves. The next, of course, was Netflix Soundwave. Netflix Soundwave came out. It was a hot button item. I paid $70 for him. I think its price was $39.99. And a lot of people saying, well, you spent, $30 more to get them, basically. And I'm like, yeah, but the seller that sold them to me wasn't going to make any money selling it to me at $70 on eBay. The fees, the shipping, shipping was included. So technically, I don't even think I paid $70. That's how much money he spent. But this was a hot button item. It was during the pandemic. Going into stores were hard to find. So if you were lucky enough to get here, some people just thought of an idea to start scalping, and you hold on to it, and next thing you know, you sell it for more money. It is what it is. That's the ebb and flow of collecting. Y'all should know that by now. No need to complain. I don't even complain about it if I can't get it. I just can't get it, and I move on. But I did get them right about 2 months later. I got about 10,000 views on this. One of my first viral videos that I had being being a reviewer. Next, we got the Legacy. Now, this is where they started to talk about the whole Legacy Soundwave. This is Legacy Soundwave. Or I believe it's Evolution, one of them. But they stated why they released this without the dirt and grime on it was simply because they still did not have the rights to the mold. And again, I know for a fact it was discussed by either Mark Marclonis or somebody else that they wanted to do a new Soundwave. But I think there's more to it than that. And I thought that after they talked about this one, that we would be seeing something in the realm of an SS'86 Soundwave, because basically that's where they would have put him on it, because there was no need to put him on the Legacy again. We'll talk about that. But the whole thing is that they got this one out in the hands of people that didn't get one, that, didn't have dirt and grime. So, you can use your imagination to turn into a tape deck. Get the SL15 upgrade. That would have saved your life. Now on to the bridge. Yes, this is the next release of the Netflix Soundwave mold in Japan. Now, international laws or rights, or however the contract was, could be sketchy, because we all know that the Netflix Soundwave was actually sold in other countries, but not as a specialty, or it got released to other countries, but it was just there. Now, I don't know how Takara was able to just say, hey, we're going to go ahead and make this, because the mold itself, I believe, was the rights. I don't think it was made specifically for Walmart, I just believe Walmart said, hey, it's Christmas time, it's the pandemic. Transformer Toys, doing okay. Let us get Soundwave and we can make some money. And that's what they did. But this one came out, and this to me right now is the superior Soundwave of any other ones that they released. And I own this one, and I can attest to it. The paint job, it has some issues with tolerances, but it's good. Now we're going to get the Legacy United. You see where we're going here. This thing is it's still in Legacy. We're still in Legacy with the same mold. It is the same mold. I don't care what you say. It's the same mold. And we're going to get this guy. This is a 5-year-old mold, man. A 5-year-old mold. But they're going to sell it. And there was an announcement. There was a little rumor floating around about the comic books. Those comic book releases. The Grimlock, comic book Grimlock, the comic book Shockwave. Now, if the rumor was, and I don't know if this was just someone making this up or something like that, because like I said, this one I will leave as an uncredited source, that they were supposed to make a comic book version of Soundwave that was supposed to be a new mold under the comic book line, because he would have been purple, because that's how he was in the original G1 comic book. And then they were going to release the traditional colors in the SS'86 line. And I knew about this probably maybe 6 or 7 months ago. So when the announcement came out that they were going to release Legacy United Soundwave with the same mold, I guess the contract or whatever limits expired, and therefore they could use the mold as they freely could. And thus we got Legacy United Soundwave. Now this kind of bothers me because we've already pictured about 5 Soundwaves that did not include the 2 Sound Blasters that came out, because those came out, of course, with Walmart and then in Japan with slightly different deco. But for the love of God, you don't think we're going to get an SS'86 Soundwave? I'd say 2026. Because if they sell this and then turn around next year and make that Soundwave, boy, collectors going to be pissed. But that's what we know so far. It's still coming. It's probably going to be a while, but I suspect that this will be released in 2020, maybe at the end of 2025. I see this as like a Christmas release. But I still feel like, why should you buy this one if they're going to do an SS'86 one? And yes, it'll probably be a retool. It won't be the same 5-year-old legacy mold. But I feel like we're getting shafted because it's coming. It's coming. But yeah, they wanted to do it a long time ago. But I think there's a lot of deal with the budget. Also dealing with the fact that, maybe Hasbro at the time was going through their problems. Yeah, it was kind of bad. They're coming out now. They're starting to be a bull, but I would really not press for SS'86 Soundwave because it's been talked about for quite some time, and we ain't got it yet. But hey, that's just me. So what are your thoughts? Leave down in the comments below. Are you just going to get Legacy United, or are you interested in waiting for SS'86? We'll see.